Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So I think it's no surprise that TikTok is getting pretty cringe, especially when it comes to business advice, because you either get these amazing words of wisdom or you get absolute garbage. And today we're going to be going through some of the business TikTok, and I will give you my own thoughts as a personal finance enthusiast myself. So with that said, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, even post a comment so this video gets some more engagement. And with that said, let's begin. It's funny, this go to college in quotes. What if that's the valet? The valet is like, hey guys, yeah, go to college. One day you can afford a Bentley. Who says that? Have you ever heard a person say, yo man, sorry, you're not cut out for this Shopify stuff. The other guy over there, yeah, he's cut out for it. I've, surprisingly, besides people telling me I should have gone to college, almost everyone's like really supportive. They don't care either way. Like if you're not doing well, they don't really care. And if you do really great, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of envy there. But yeah, I gotta say, like, I've never heard anybody say this. But anyway, we'll continue. See, it's like he makes all this money and then he goes and blows it on a Bentley Bentayga, the one SUV that's like plummeted 50% in value from its original MSRP. You could pick these things up pretty affordable now. But besides that, though, it's a little audacious to go to your balcony with your arms just like wide open. Like, who are you? No one's looking at you. Like, what, are you trying to impress the fish? I don't think they understand the concept of money. It's a little odd, especially like, you know, he's just in his pajamas doing this. Is it sunrise or sunset? We can't even tell. This could be the evening for all we know. DM me if you want to change. See that? Now he's selling something. You know, why can't it just be, hey guys, I want to flex today. Here's how rich I am. Here's how poor you are. See ya. No, it's always like, hey, by the way, DM me with motivation and I'll be in touch and we'll sell you. That's all. It's a sales funnel. So it's all the people who fall for this will DM him. They want to change. He's going to put them in a mastermind of some sort. And that's what's funding all of this. You don't think he's buying Bentley Bentaygas with, you know, gross revenue. Didn't even show us the profits. The profits are the course that he sells you. Especially when their username always starts with ecom something. You know, ecom FX, Forex trading, millionaire, I don't know. She says horrible to be in a relationship with. I mean, am I the only one looking at this be like, yeah, no, that sounds awful? And if anybody who's qualified to say that, I think it would be me, because like I appreciate when someone works and they're self-sufficient, they're doing their own thing, but this is straight up like, this is rejection, like constantly. Hey babe, it's Friday night, 10 p.m. She's like, now girls night. Hey, it's Sunday afternoon, like we haven't seen each other in a while. No, sorry, I need alone time to myself. She sounds, what a joy. You know, I hope she finds somebody. There's no ring on that finger, so hope she, you know, wish her the best of luck.
My advice to you is to work hard and be consistent.
Why is everyone always filming videos in their car? That seems to be the go-to spot. It's always like in a Rolls Royce, in a Ferrari, in a Lambo. They're always the car videos. And I get it, you know, it's a quiet spot, but this seems, why can't he just film in his dining room, you know? You know why? Because it doesn't have Rolls Royce upholstered right behind your head.
Then when you make money, manage your money and save most of your money. Don't go spend it on some dumb shit. And then after that, when you make enough money and you learn more knowledge, invest it in real estate. So you have real estate investment for holding. So later when you get older, like 40, 50 years like me, you have the option, freedom of choice to do what you want to do, buy what you want to buy anytime. Get it?
It's not bad advice though, but it's kind of hypocritical. It's hard to say, hey guys, don't buy stupid stuff when you're sitting in a Rolls Royce. It makes a lot of sense to be like, hey guys, here's my bank account, and I'm in a 2001 Honda Civic with 150,000 miles. This is, that's financial independence for you.
This embroidery machine literally changed my life. If you're a creative person and you want to sell hats, beanies, hoodies, t-shirts, etc., this video is for you. This is the Brother Entrepreneur Pro X PR1050X.
Is this a real name? It's called the Brother Entrepreneur Pro X? Are you serious? Are you serious? Entrepreneur Pro X. This is an actual thing. Oh my gosh. It's a real thing. Okay, sure, they're $3,000. Weird name, not my favorite, but you know, we'll continue.
has literally sold 3,243 times on eBay. Do the math.
That's not bad. So he's probably buying the hats for like $3 a piece. I don't know, embroidering, when you take into the cost of all this stuff, maybe another $2. So he's probably all in, I'm guessing $5, selling them at 12. It's a good profit margin, especially, by the way, if they're paying for shipping. Could be a decent business. I actually, I like that. Not to mention the cost of the design for creating the Kermit until Disney sues you. Is Disney, who owns Kermit the Frog? And yeah, it's Disney. Yeah, he's going to be slapped with a lawsuit any day now if he sells too much of those. Here's the thing. You could probably operate a business like this and be small enough. Like, if you're really small, I'm probably not going to go after you. But as soon as you sell 5,000, 10,000 hats, and slap with the lawsuit, cease and desist, they want their money back.
Here's how you make $500,000 a year. No, just kidding. In 1 month, in month of December of 2020.
Oh wow, he got me. In 1 month.
Go to Zillow.com, find a rental property that is recently renovated. Number 2, call the landlord and ask them if they're okay with you running your Airbnb business with their property. Number 3, furnish the rental property with modern and affordable furniture. Number 4, hire a professional photographer. Number 5, list your property on Airbnb and VRBO. Number 6, resist the urge to impress others by buying dumb shits, but instead start investing every penny back to the business and let it compound so you can scale the business.
Yeah, okay, so we'll make that very clear. $500,000 a month is got to be gross. There's no way he's profiting $500,000 a month by doing that. I guarantee. The thing is, it's like you could pay, let's say, $5,000 a month for a rental that maybe you'll make $10,000 a month on with Airbnb, but then you subtract your expenses, the cleaning fees, some of the downtime, all that sort of great stuff. Then you're probably left with, I don't know, $1,500 of profit, maybe $2,000 worth of profit on, $10,000 of gross rent, so maybe 20%. That means that, assuming 20%, he's still probably making about $100,000 a month, but which is, by the way, very impressive. It can be a good business. It's extremely time intensive. You got to get a good team around that. And Airbnb rules and regulations could change on a moment's notice. You get one city who cracks down on that, one issue with the party, someone all of a sudden runs a Project X campaign at the house. There you go. But you know what? It's I think it gets the wheels turning, and it's not terrible. It's not a bad business.
The life of a 19-year-old CEO. Today I'm shipping orders around the world. This one is going to France.
The thing is, everyone can call themselves a CEO now. Like, you have one client with a business that you run from a spare bedroom, and you could be a CEO too. I think it's kind of lost its meaning now. But anyway, let's watch this. This is interesting.
This pink moon necklace is going to Japan, and this cross to Rwanda. The order from the UK got manifestation crystals, and for India we have a Scorpio and evil eye necklace. Lastly, this order from Singapore.
Okay, it's not bad. Good business. Curious if she's making this herself or if she's buying it on AliExpress. I want to know more about the business, but it seems like really good quality. And hey, you know what? You can't knock that one. That one's good.
Here's why it's better to be a business than an employee. The employee makes $100 by working hourly. The business makes $100 from making an online sale. Before the employee gets his money, taxes have to be taken out. The business, however, gets to spend that whole $100 on all kinds of expenses. They get to reinvest by taking write-offs. After taxes, the employee gets $80. After expenses, the business still has $20. It's not over yet. The employee still has to pay for their expenses. The business has to pay taxes. At the very end, they're both left with $16 in profits. The employee only got to spend $64 on expenses and had to pay $20 worth of taxes. The business got to spend a whopping $80 on expenses and only had to pay $4 in taxes.
That is fantastic. I have yet to see anybody break it down like this. This one, I have to say, is a 10 out of 10. Should really get you thinking about the benefits of running a business. But I will say, the one thing he doesn't mention here is that the employee income is guaranteed. You show up for a job, you're getting paid for that day, unless your employer really sucks. But you know what? Everyone's getting paid. The business, that $100 is not guaranteed. So there's a lot of risk involved in this $100. That could be $20 the next day. It could be zero. You could be negative $100. The employee always going to get $100. So there is a lot of safety and consistency with being the employee that I think is not represented here, but great explanation.
I go to Alibaba.com and I buy products in bulk like these oil spray bottles for under $2, and then I resell them on Amazon for $18.99. Another cool thing is you don't have to ship the products from your house to Amazon. I ship directly from China to Amazon's warehouse. I've been doing this for about 2 years now, so if you want to learn more, click the YouTube link in the bio.
You know what, that one actually doesn't seem that terrible. I think once you get a product that works, you could probably run with it for long enough until maybe the market gets a bit saturated. That one's quite interesting. I like that one. So confusing, you never know what they're selling. These could be trash bags of body parts for all we know. I want to know what she's selling. What's the profit? I want to know the profit. Everyone shows their gross sales. Hey, I made $1,000 today. No, you didn't. $50 in profit maybe, and you're working 18 hours a day. I want to know. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I'm really curious how much are they making at the end of the day. Extremely low risk side hustle. Go to a Dollar Tree or Dollar General store. Find the aisle where they sell $1 books. Go through all the books and search them on eBay. If they sell for more than $1, resell the book for profit. Buy all the books they have in stock. Like and follow for more easy side hustles. $50 of profit right here in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, but what about your time? I mean, you gotta consider, what if the book sells for $2 or like $3 or doesn't sell at all and you're stuck with the book? What about shipping? Who pays for shipping? I'm guessing the customer has to pay for the shipping. It seems like though, it's a lot of work depending on how many books you're selling at volume. It's not terrible though, but I'd want one of these books to be selling for like $20 to maybe make like 10. I think if you're in high school or middle school or you're just bored and you like books, it's gonna actually be a pretty decent side hustle.
Do you know how fucking happy I was at 27, making $40,000 a year, fucking working 15 hours a day, 7 fucking days a week, building a business that wasn't even mine? Happy as fuck.
Why does he gotta use the F word so much? Why does he gotta curse there? I think he gets the point across without saying the naughty words. But you know what? Who am I to say? I've stopped swearing. You know, because of the YouTube algorithm. The algorithm's always watching, and I'm like, you know what? I may as well just stop cursing.
You guys think I'm successful now? I'm 43, motherfucker. I haven't even fucking started.
Is he 43? Why do I think he was older? I hate to say that. Maybe it's because he's been around for a while. Like, he's been on social media before a lot of people were even born. How old is Gary Vee now? I think he's 46. I don't know why I thought he was in his 50s. Again, it's probably just because he's been doing this for such a long time. So anyway, that's enough TikTok for me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.